Welcome back to Renpet Bath Beauty's Soap Kitchen. Today I am out of white soap dough and I need that for another project. Plus I have to make the soap dough that I'm going to need for excuse me, for the summer soaps. So I am going to do the heat transfer method, and I'm going to give you guys this recipe because it took me a long time to figure out what worked for me as far as soap dough went. You know, there's a lot of people that use their regular soap recipes as soap dough, and while I could do that with the Hawthorne, it's a little soft, like if you're doing intricate work with it. But my Isis soap, because of the mango butter content in it, you can't work with it. So I tried recipe after recipe, you know, my own concoctions, my own stuff, and I came up with this, which is 20% coconut oil, 20% sustainable palm, 20% shea butter, and then I have 20% of soybean oil and 20% of olive oil. So I'll leave just the percentages, and I use my regular water discount for it. So I'll leave all the information. I don't superfat it, nothing like that. I'll leave all the information down in the description box below. Let me get this lye mixed because we are doing the heat transfer method. I always do my soap dough this way. It just makes it easier. I try to cut up my hard oils so they're not in big chunks, so it doesn't take as long to melt. So let's get this going. We're going to keep this container because we have colors to mix. So we'll just get this all melted down. It doesn't take that long, especially not when you're doing, you know, a big huge recipe. This is 1.5 pounds of oils, so I definitely am like completely out of white. I went digging. I have a box that I keep all of my soap dough in, and I was sure I was gonna find some, and nope, every color but white. So, and I'll be making some lime wedges and some peach wedges for my summer soaps, and those are going to be a lot of fun to make, but that's a big surprise. Shh, I didn't tell you. I did not tell you. I just keep breaking it up because the smaller it is, the quicker it'll melt. And I see a lot of soapers on YouTube stick blend, you know, when they get to about this point, but I don't. I did that one time and had a chunk of shea butter in my soap dough, so I just let it melt. So sorry if this part is a little boring. I hope you guys had a good week. I've had an interesting week. I got to make soap with my niece, and we're getting ready for some shows, so I have tons of bath bombs to make because we only have 3 cents of bath bombs, and can't have that. Are never gonna give you up, which is cucumber, wasabi, cilantro. Those sell like crazy in bath bombs. Oh, it sells like crazy in soap too, but it's such a great spa smell. So when I do make the bath bombs, I mean, you'll see the video way after the shows and stuff, but I will bring you guys along for how I make bath bombs. My bath bomb recipe is different than anybody I've ever seen on YouTube. It is. Don't know why, but it is. I like the way I do my bath bombs. And my customers absolutely love them too, so they sell very, very well. I use a moon press for that, so that'll probably be coming up shortly, a few weeks after this video goes up. Okay, just got a few little teeny tiny things in there. Come on, let's finish melting. There we go. Almost there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my liquid oils in there. And we are also going to keep this container out. Like I said, I have a couple colors I have to mix. So, let me grab a paper towel just to rest my spatula on. Okay, Freddie, let's give this a whirl. And one of the other things that I never do with my soap dough is I don't ever put my fragrance oil in my soap dough. The reason for that is fragrance oils can accelerate, they can, help your bars be harder. It just depends on the fragrance oil. I have some leftover Hawthorne batter that had scent in it. And I thought, oh, I can use this for soap dough because, I can use the Hawthorne if I wanted to. It's just a little soft when you're working with it, but it is hard as a rock. It looks like a beautiful gemstone, though. Let me get some of the bubbles out of here. Okay, so we need white. White is going to be the majority of it. We need our light green. Whoop. And our dark green. Let's get a little bit more of that. And then, oh, I got one too many cups out. And then this one is for the peach. Oh, you know what? I'm going to split this. I have all the colors I need to make the outside of the peach. I just don't have the light peachy color for the inside of the peach. Let me split that a little bit so we have about the same for the light green and the peach. Okay, so take this out of here. Alright, this is Apple Green by Crafter's Choice. I'm also going to put it in what I'm going to put in the dark green because I want it a little bit lighter. You know, I want some variation in the color. Just need a little bit of this, a dark green. A little goes a long way. Okay, and then for our peach, this is orange salsa. And I am putting a little bit of jazzberry pink in there. Let's see how that works. I've got my titanium dioxide. Okay, let's start with our white. Stay. Our green. To our peach. Ah! Freddie, come on. Okay, it needs to be a little bit lighter than that. And we just need our dark green. Yeah, need a little bit more dark green in there. on me. Oh, you know what? I didn't even look to see if y'all could see that. I should probably do that. There you go. Sorry about that. I'm so excited to... Oh, and by the way, when I do make these embeds for the summer soaps, and, you know, the white is going to be used for another project. When I make that other project, oops, to get that green out of that white. When I make that other project, I'll take you guys upstairs to my dining room table. That's where I work on all my embeds. I like to sit and be comfortable when I do it. There we go. Alright, and now we've got this last dark green. Go. Sorry about that. I know that was really loud. So, then what I do with this recipe is, I gotta get in my drawer here. I take my cling wrap. Make sure that this cling wrap touches the surface of the soap as much as possible while I let it sit for overnight. So this will sit overnight, and tomorrow when I bring it out, I will squish it up and I will repackage it in cling wrap after I get as many of the lumps out as possible. So I will see you tomorrow. Well, for you it's just a few seconds, but for me it's tomorrow. Okay guys, so we are back to deal with our soap dough. Going to peel this off of here. And just like stick blending, I like to go from lightest to darkest. Oh, I forgot to do one very important thing. Like to alcohol down my counter so it's nice and sterile. So that way I can deal with this on a sterile environment here. Let me get this white out of here. Hopefully I can get it out of the middle with all that soap around it. There we go. Okay. So what I like to do, and do this with gloves on, because this is soap that's only 24 hours old. The lye is not, you know, neutralized. It was covered. And it'll warm up, you know, in your hands. But I like to get some of the clumps out of there. And like I said, I like to have a sterile work surface in order to do that with. And the white, when you do white, if you're using water soluble titanium dioxide, it's always going to be softer than the rest of your soap dough because you're adding water to your recipe. It's part of the reason why I do my water at 30%. So, especially when I'm doing white. And don't worry, I will get that soap dough off that counter. Just massage it for a little bit. And like I said, I like to try to get as many clumps out as possible. See, there's a clump there. Scraper is at the moment. Let me just get as much of this up as I can. Okay. So I'm going to wrap this white up in two different sections here. And I take my saran wrap and I get all the air out of it, twist it. well, that's all there is to it. And I will do this same thing with the rest of these. And that's soap dough. And I let it sit for at least 3 days. I like to let it sit 2 weeks, but that's not going to be happening with the white because I need it for a project. But as you know, and it stays good as long as it is completely airtight. It will stay malleable and pliable, and you shouldn't have too much trouble with it. So that's it for soap dough, guys. I hope that this video helps you and you can make your own. So I will see you next week. Bye-bye.